Matt Mrozik, aka MVM3897 here with my first work in progress video ever. And this is, I mentioned this kit in my previous video. I call it the Big Blue Monster because I don't know how to pronounce it, to be honest. So again, if anyone knows how to pronounce it, let me know so I don't have to keep referring to it as the Big Blue Monster. But again, this is a commission job, one of the kits I had for sale. And it was a hard one to put on the list because I was really looking forward to building it for myself. But luckily someone bought it for me and asked me to do it for him. So it's going to be a pretty long project. It's just a really massive kit. There are about 324 pieces. It's about 2 feet long when it's complete. If you are familiar with Matt Tomczak, which I'm sure everyone is, check out his build of his version on his website. I'll put a link in the description down below. It is absolutely stunning, and I will be using his as a go-by. And my clients basically asked for the standard color scheme, so nothing too far variant from this. The only thing I'm not real excited about is the blue. I may change that up a little bit based on what my client wants. So anyway, real quick, work in progress 1. First thing I ever do with a kit is when I get it, is of course I open the box. And as I mentioned in my previous video, this is a GSB kit. G-System Best, which is a recaster of G-System kits. And I have a couple of their kits, and they're actually really pretty good. I have the what size is it? I'm drawing a blank on it. 148 Hyper Z, I think it is. Nice kit, pretty good casting. So you'll notice that they have obviously the instructions. These are obviously photocopies of the original. The one thing I do like about their kits that's different from G-System is the instructions come on cardstock. Not cardstock, but pretty thick paper. It's not real flimsy. So anyway, first picture's color. You get obviously a inventory list, which is extremely helpful, showing you all the parts. And you will notice on my instruction sheets, which is the first thing I do when I get a kit and I'm ready to build this, I go through and I check for all the parts. And as I'm checking out the parts, I put a little dot next to the part number so that I know that I have it. This kit had all the parts, nothing was missing, which is not always the case with any resin kit. I've had G-System kits that's missing a part, as Matt Tomczak on my GP03 that I was working for. He was missing a couple pieces, and on that kit and the XS I gave him was missing a few pieces. G-System is really good about getting replacements if they're missing. Just have the serial number. G-System Best, on the other hand, I haven't experienced any missing parts, but their customer service is a little lacking. And G-System isn't the best either. I think it's just the mentality of the country. They're okay, but they're pretty short and abrupt. G-System Best, if you get a reply from them, you're lucky. But anyway, as you can see, I've gone through and I've marked all the parts as being present. And you get a sense of the instructions here. They're pretty simple, just line drawings with dotted lines showing you where the pieces go. And sometimes these can be a little confusing on which order to put it in, but that's all part of the resin kit building. It's not like a Bandai kit where every single, like this would be a step, and then this would be a step, and that would be a step. Basically, the whole leg is a step, and it's just kind of knowing how to put together. And you just figure that as you pin it. Same thing here. I don't know what these are called. I'm calling these like the backpacks, but these massive parts that hold the thrusters and these long tail things. The massive rifle, which is just really honking huge. So there's the instructions with the inventory list. And as I'm checking pieces off, I put them in Ziploc baggies according to what part it is, what part of the kit. This, for instance, are all the pieces that go to the torso, or the front main torso. And to give you a sense of what the casting is like on this kit, I'll get the main center section. Right here, this is where the neck would go. This is where the arms plug in. And you can see that the casting is pretty good. Details are intact. Panel ends are pretty sharp. There's not a whole lot of paneling on this kit anyway. I may add some, I know I'm going to add some probably metal tubes and stuff. Some flash here and there, but that's standard with any resin kit. You have to remember that these are handmade. These aren't made by machines. So, you know, inconsistency, no matter the company, you're going to have some. This is a part of the side, and this would actually plug in just like, if I can show you. It's not going to fit exactly because, again, I haven't done a whole lot of cleanup, but it fit in like that. So I break them down, I put them in Ziploc baggies, just like that. And what I do, this also helps me when I'm pinning. There's one of the legs, all the pieces. See the bottom of the foot there. Again, pretty good casting. So that's the second. That's the first and second step. Check the inventory, make sure everything's there. Separate all the pieces into baggies by part. So what that does is, as I'm cleaning and pinning, you know, it just kind of helps me keep track of where I am in the process. One thing I will note on this kit that are really nice, and I haven't seen the G System kit, but I'm assuming they're just as good as nice, are these thrusters. They are super sharp. I mean, there is no flash, and I mean 0 flash on them, except for the pour mark. And the detail is extremely sharp. Super nice. Nice job. And you also get a couple vacuum form parts here. And these are basically what they do. They create a mold. They put these in a vacuum with some, they heat up the plastic, and the vacuum sucks it over the mold, and you get these little guys that go over the sensors. Again, here's one of the big, and one of the issues I have with this kit so far. This is, again, one of the booster packs, backpacks, and I'm not sure how tight this is supposed to fit, but if you notice, this part hasn't been cleaned up yet. Pretty good gap right there. So again, I haven't really cleaned up the flash on this, but I'm having this will be a good instance to show you guys how to straighten resin. This piece is pretty big, so it's going to take a little work. Some heating of resin, and also I think maybe this gets trimmed up here a little bit. This will fit a little bit better. Overall, from what I've seen from this kit, just from playing with a little bit, it's pretty good as resin kits go. No major issues. My two main issues are with these guys. This is the smaller one. I'll show you the big one in a second with that fitting there. So far, the only pieces that I found that are really bent are the bazooka, not the bazookas, but the missiles. Those will not fly very straight like that. So a little boiling water, and that'll be taken care of, and I'll show you guys how to do that. Again, more bags of parts here. Here's the big honking rear end piece. Don't know what you call this, but it's just huge. And again, haven't cleaned the flash off, but actually the fit looks pretty good here. If you notice here, it's a pretty good gap, and you can tell if I squeeze it a little bit, it closes up pretty well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this in some really tight rubber bands. I'll drop it in some boiling water for 10 seconds maybe, and that should, and let it cool, and it should work out very well. So there's that. Some more parts. These are the arms. The arms have a lot of little parts. The fingers are itty bitty, so there's going to be a lot of parts going to have to be permanently epoxied for this to work. But there's one of the arms. I got two of those. Here is the big rifle, which I mentioned earlier. Nice size. It's the main barrel. I mean, that's got to be, I don't know, 8 inches long. It's pretty, just to finish up real quick, get a couple pieces of PVC pipe for the like thruster tails, piece of rubber tubing, and again another bag of parts for the lower torso. So that's the kit in a nutshell. My next video, which I'll do when I do some more cleanup, that'll be this weekend. I'll get a chance to work on it some more and do some cleanup. I'll do a video and show you how I clean up a resin kit. Now, I have not soaked these in any type of degreaser yet, and there are a couple opinions on which order you should do things in. People say you should do the degreaser first and then start cleaning up the flash and stuff. And the reasoning behind that is because resin is a semi-porous material, and the theory is that the mold release will get pushed into the resin further from the sanding process, and you'll have a harder time getting it off. Well, the way I clean a resin kit, I don't do that. I do all the flash cleaning, nub removal, and pinning first, and then I do the soaking and cleaning process. And you can ask Sneeper on YouTube. He's kind of asked me a bunch of questions about cleaning resin kits. And I do basically a 3-step process. After everything's been sanded and cleaned and pinned, I will soak everything in Purple Power degreasing full strength, not diluted, for 24 hours and even longer. I've left plastic in Purple Power for 2 weeks and it doesn't hurt it at all. Can only do it better. After it's been soaked in Purple Power, I will rinse everything in warm water. I'll put all the parts in a strainer in my sink. I'll just let warm water run over it until the water runs clear. Once that's all off, I will scrub everything down with a toothbrush and soft scrub with bleach, and that just kind of helps get into all the nooks and crannies. And my theory is that the soft scrub is an abrasive and helps stuff stick. After that's done, it gets another rinse with warm water, and it is ready for primer. So that's the initial work in progress. Nothing much, just an introduction to the kit, and just tell you kind of what I'm going to do with it. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for looking again.